All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the video for the 5.2a assignment. Before we dive into that, let's take a look at the learning intention or objective for this lesson. We will be able to perform unit conversions using dimensional analysis. Okay, so we're going to be doing unit conversion problems through a process called dimensional analysis, okay? And the best way to learn this is just to do it and practice. So I'm going to open up the 5.2a assignment. It is a Canvas quiz, which you are going to have 3 attempts on, as usual. There are 12 questions. We are actually going to do 2 of those together right now, and then we may do one more afterwards, okay? So let me zoom this in a little bit so we can see this nice and well. All right. A unit conversion problem is always going to be formatted like this. It's going to ask you to take one value and convert it into a different set of units. So for example here in the first question, convert 3.5 hours or 3.5 hours to minutes. In other words, how many minutes are in 3.5 hours? Some of you might be thinking, well, if I just take 3.5 hours and multiply that times 60, right, because there's 60 minutes in every hour, this will give me 210. You can do that on a calculator, okay? That's the answer, right? And look at that. That is one of the answer choices. That is the correct answer, okay? However, what I want to show you today, and the real purpose of this lesson, is to learn how to do this in a more reliable way. The reason this one is pretty easy is because we are very familiar with units of time. Humans are very familiar with units like hours, minutes, seconds, things like that. Some other units, like units for length, mass, and volume, are not as familiar for us. So what I'm going to be showing you here in just a second is a reliable way of answering these types of questions. Okay? So let me erase all of that stuff. I'm going to keep this up here, okay? All right. So the reliable method works like this. I'm still going to start with my original value, okay? 3.5 hours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by a fraction, okay? And I'm going to leave this fraction blank for right now, okay? But I'm going to fill this in just a minute. So 3.5 hours times some fraction, and this is going to be equal to my answer. My answer needs to be in units of minutes. Okay, so this blank spot here, that's where my answer is going to go. And then this, this fraction here, this is called a conversion factor. Okay? Conversion factors are fractions or ratios which tell us how the units relate to one another. Okay? This is a conversion factor right here. Okay? 1 hour equals 60 minutes. That tells me how hours and minutes relate to one another, right? 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting these two things in this fraction. One of them is going to go on the top, one of them is going to go on the bottom, okay? But how do you know which one goes where? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to put the term that has this unit, okay, the starting unit, we're going to put that term in the denominator. Okay, and we're going to put the term that has the destination unit or the answer unit, minutes, that is going to go in the numerator. Okay, this conversion factor, once again, this is a ratio that tells me how my units relate to one another. 60 minutes is in 1 hour, or 1 hour has 60 minutes in it, right? These two things are equal to each other, right? 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. Okay, so your conversion factor should always make sense like that. The top part should be equal to the bottom part. Okay, and how I know where these things go is based on the units. Okay, My starting unit is in hours, so I'm going to put that in the denominator. My destination unit is my destination unit is minutes, so I'm going to put that in the numerator. Okay, and those values are coming from here. You can see each question has a conversion factor with it. Okay. Okay, so what happens here is now we can just do the calculation. Okay, 3.5 hours times 60 minutes per hour. 3.5 times 60, same calculation as up here. Okay, divided by 1. That's not going to change anything. This is still going to give us 210. The units cancel. Okay, have you guys ever seen something in math class like this? X times y divided by x. You probably have seen something like this in math class, even if you can't remember it. What you're allowed to do here is, because the x is on top and bottom, the x cancels. And so this is just equal to y. That's kind of what's going on here. The hours are on top and bottom, and minutes is the only unit that's left over. So that's why we have minutes there. Okay, so like y would be the minutes, x would be the hours. That's kind of what's going on here. Okay, so that is how a dimensional analysis unit conversion problem works. Okay, now I'm going to erase this, scroll down, and we're going to do this one more time in the video. Okay, so let's actually go down to number 4, because this one has some different units. Okay, this is in units of length, meters and centimeters. All right. So once again, I'm going to start with my original value, 250 centimeters. I'm going to use the abbreviation for centimeters, cm for centimeters. I'm going to multiply this times a conversion factor, a fraction. I'm going to leave that blank for just a minute. This is going to be equal to my answer, which is in terms of meters. Okay, so meters, the abbreviation is m for meters. Okay, so my answer is going to go here in this box. Now what I need to do is I need to fill in my conversion factor. The conversion factor is right here. Okay, one piece of this, one side of this is going to go in the bottom, and one side is going to go on the top. Okay, my starting value is in centimeters. That unit needs to go in the denominator. Okay, centimeters has to go in the denominator. So right here, 100 centimeters, that's going to go in the denominator. The other portion of the conversion factor is going to go in the numerator. Okay, that unit should be the same unit as your answer. Okay, this is my calculation. 250 centimeters times 1 meter divided by 100 centimeters. Okay, in other words, 250 times 1 divided by 100, this is equal to 2.5. Okay, and the units cancel, centimeters and centimeters. Just like x over x, I have centimeters over centimeters, that's going to cancel, so the only unit that I have left over is meters. Okay? All right. We can do more examples of this in class, okay, if you guys need more examples. But this video should hopefully serve as a good resource for you if you ever need to go back and watch this while you're working on the assignment. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys after the video.